Hey there, good people. What's going on? Good evening from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Today I'm planning to do a house talk that is long overdue. I plan to do this like some time back, and this is like House of Guerlain. Some people consider this a niche house. Some people say they have designer. So basically, to me, Guerlain is a house that I'm relatively new to. I'm not gonna claim I'm a master on this house. I've collected a few fragrances, reviewed quite a few, about around 20 plus maybe. But over the years, I have sold off some. I regret some, and then I actually wanted to talk about House of Guerlain. To me, they have both designer and niche line for me, according to price tag or whatever the line is, and they have huge. I think Guerlain is most probably the one house that has the highest number of fragrances under their belt. So I'm going to show you the ones that I have remained, and I have quite a few samples that I'm not going to show just the bottles. I'll talk about it in general. It's going to be a little bit long video, I'll warn you. But I would like to let you know what this house is like and who is it for, and how I fell in love with this house. Okay, so let's start. So from the left side we'll start, and this fragrance is the one fragrance for me. It's I think it's hard to find discontinued whatever, but there's a new version out. This is called Guerlain Homme, and this EDP Intense, I think. Yes, EDP Intense. This comes in a black bottle. I did see Guerlain Homme, I think, in a different bottle with the perhaps wooden cap. So they have many versions of it, but this one, the particular one, it's hard to find. So Guerlain Homme is again one fragrance. It's like I have Guerlain Homme EDP, the new presentation. I'll show you that one, and the low Boise as well. This is basically Mohita Accord, and the thing is, it's a bit darkened. It's a bit dark. Some people say this is the same as the new version. I find differences. Okay, so this one, it's a little bit dark take on, I would say, mojito. Okay, very nice, refreshing. You can wear this in mild cooler weathers. Very masculine, very manly, and very tasty kind of fragrance. I really love this, and the bottles are really nice. Okay, very very beautiful fragrance. The first one is Guerlain Homme EDP Intense. So that's gone. Number two, let me show you the modern formulation that you can have. Just give me a second. Yeah, sorry for taking a break, but anyway, coming back to this fragrance, this is called Guerlain Homme EDP. These are the new formulation, and these are the new bottle designs. Okay, most of the fragrances in this line, they have this one uniform bottle with the dent at the center. Very simplistic looking bottle, but I really like them. They're very standard, and I like this juice color a lot. So the difference I find between this one and the EDP Intense is that this fragrance is more brighter. The Homme EDP is very boozy. It's very very boozy. The rum in this is very prominent. I really like the rum in this. It's very something that you at this point you want to drink, and lasting power is very very good. On most Guerlain's fragrance performance are no issue. So this fragrance is for more modern. If you think that EDP Intense is a bit dark for you, try this one. This is very tasty, and I don't think if there's an EDT version, I'm not sure, but Guerlain Homme, if you want a little bit more sweeter and less dark, I think you should go with this one, EDP. Okay, and this fragrance, this line, basically all these bottles that you see, they are very affordable. Okay, you can check the online prices. Next one, I'm going to show you the most brightest. This is the EDP version, I would say. Guerlain Homme Le Boisee. Okay, or however you say it. So basically this juice is the most refreshing juice in the whole of Guerlain. I have another fragrance that is similar to this, but that's a bit more sweeter. This one has mint. Okay, this is very very extremely potent juice for me. On the summer days, I really enjoy wearing this. No one smells like me. This one has the Mohita Accord. Once again, all these first three that I'm showing you, they all have the Mohita Accord. First one is dark, EDP Intense. The second one is a little bit more sweet, less dark. Third one is more minty, citrus. You can think of summery version. You can wear this throughout the summer. Okay, more brighter. So the three gone. Next one, we're gonna enter the line of Vetiver. Vetiver has quite a few ones, older version, vintage, then they have the modern formulation, but these ones are the most modern. They have the extreme version and the EDT. I had the extreme, I sold it off because that one was not doing it for me. I don't know if maybe perhaps in next winter I'll repurchase it. These ones I would suggest, the Vetiver especially, buy a 200 ml. This is a niche fragrance in a bottle of designer price tag. I absolutely love. I fell in love with Guerlain recently. I fell in love with Vetiver. They happen at the same time. Vetiver is a very, very long-lasting, bit spicy, and got this nice kind of citruses up top. This one is the quality of Tom Ford. You can talk about Lunar Vetiver. Some of the best Vetiver fragrances. This is one of them. Okay, Guerlain's one of my most favorite. Guerlain Vetiver EDT. Next one is we're going to talk about LIDGE. Okay, LIDGE basically launched into Guerlain. They have three formulation as far as I know. This is the more modern formulation. This is L'Instant Guerlain EDT. Okay, and next I'm going to show you the vintage EDP, which is very, very rare to find. So this again comes in that line. Okay, also I'll show you Abbey Rouge, but L'Instant Guerlain, why I got this one, the EDT is more refreshing. The orange in this it's a little bit more, it still has the cacao, chocolatey, and bit masculine. Like if you like Dior Homme, honestly speaking, Dior Homme, Valentino Vumo, if you like Givenchy, Gentleman, this is a fragrance you should definitely try. This is more upscale, and Guerlain make this so well done, so well done. The patchouli cacao in this is just so nice. It's lighter compared to the extreme, and I'll show you the extreme right now. If you can find the EDP, I think it's called, the new one is called EDP, but back in the time there were these bottles. Okay, and I was very fortunate enough, once Mr. Masood, who was in Perfume Bangladesh, he was I think in the older office, so I went to visit him. I saw this bottle and he was like not willing to let it go, and I told him, brother, I want this bottle, is it possible I take it? And he said, okay, fine, because we actually worked together for a long time, so he was kind enough to let me have this. Okay, so this is the LIDGE with the dark ridge or dark circle, whatever, dark, not circle, dark edges of the bottle. This 75 ml, very, very rare to find. It goes about $250 for 75 ml, and this is the ultimate luxury of Guerlain for me. Until this day, if you talk about, I always talk about Dior Homme Intense, how much I love it. It's right here. I love Dior Homme Intense, I love Givenchy Gentleman EDP, I love Valentino More Intense, but if there's a niche version of those, this is it. This is extremely beautiful. The patchouli, the darker notes, the cacao powderiness, the patchouli again, like the, what is the other note, orange up top, so good. It's woody, it's kind of like powdery, it's slowly it gets stronger over time. It's just a mesmerizing fragrance. It's for mature nose. The whole house basically is for mature noses. Okay, so this one, if you find it somewhere, I had the first formulation of this one, I mean not first, the first reform, that one had this same bottle but with that see-through edges, and then I had the EDT 125 mils. So I sold them off both. I was extremely stupid. I really wish I could have them back, then I could save my sprays on this one. But either way, this whole line, even this one, if you get, it's good. Okay, so let me take a break, let me drink some water, and then do the rest of them. Alright guys, I'm back. My voice was getting a little bit dry, so now I'm back with this one. I'm going to show you, I don't know exactly how people say it. I just saw last week Max 40 was doing a review top 5, give me 5 of Guerlain. This fragrance actually was featured there. So he said it's Abbey Rouge maybe, but I keep saying Abbey Rouge. Okay, I don't know, I heard it somewhere. So this is basically the red bottle. So I wanted one from each line. There are so many, trust me, you can never ever end up and getting all of them, but there's always a starting point. This has to be one of the most classiest fragrances for men, and I'm telling you, this is not a joke. This fragrance is not for beginners. This is not a fragrance for people who are looking to get off like women's undergarments and stuff, like in the clubbing and all that, those panty droppers and compliment. This is not that kind of fragrance. This is extremely classy. It takes time to understand this. This is for me, it's a masculine version of Shalimar, which I had and I gave it away. I'm sorry to say, I think if I have this, I don't need that one, but they share common elements. And this one, it's a very complex fragrance. It opens up with a lot of bright citruses for me. When I smell it, there's a lot of citruses, tangerine, orange, bergamot, very complex, and then there's Brazilian rosewood, and then there's followed by, I think, carnation, rose. If I don't know, I don't remember. It was a patchouli there, leather there, perhaps cinnamon. Okay, and then perhaps what was the other one? Like I found it. There's some sort of like, I don't know, amber perhaps. So very heavy note breakdown on this. Okay, so this fragrance may look simple, but you need classy occasion to wear this. If you want a similar fragrance to this, no one talks about it apart from Shalimar. I think Chanel's Egoist, not Platinum Egoist, the Egoist is very similar to this. They share a lot of common elements, especially the rosewood. Okay, so Abbey Rouge, they have dress code, they have a lot of other ones that has cherry and all that, but I would say the EDT version is ideal for summer. There's EDP or other versions. I love the EDT a lot. This is something of a luxurious fragrance for a very, very nominal price tag. So now coming to the last part of these fragrances, these are more built for younger folks and people who are looking for something safer, Compliment Beast or lovey-dovey, and these are their more modern fragrances. Okay, so I think with these fragrance line, they are trying to compete with Bleu de Chanel, Chanel Eau Extreme, or fragrance like Dior Sauvage. This is more their crowd pleaser sort of line. I had reviewed every single fragrance from this line, I sold them off. I had this one before this one, and I sold them off, and I still wish I had the white one left, the Guerlain Low Medial line, the cologne. I'll talk about it. So very first one was released was Low Medial EDT. Look at that bottle. I really miss these bottles. The new ones, they made this kind of like see-through at the side, which I don't like. It looks not as posh as this one. These bottles are so lovely. Okay, and then the black ridges and everything, the bottle is very, very classy. I like the way they made these bottles, very beautiful. Okay, and check out my whole fragrance review, individual one. This is the 100 ml version. They also come with smaller bottle. So Low Medial basically is a fragrance if you do like Tonka Imperial. Okay, if you like pure Tonka by Thierry Mugler, this is the Tonka vibe, but it's a little bit different. It has this leather note, but very, very beautiful wearable leather, and the fragrance is very sweet, very, very sweet, very beautiful. I think there's a chestnut or what is the other note? I forgot that nutty feel. This one also features. So very nice. This is a very high class fragrance, lasts a long time. After that, sorry, they release this is now discontinued, the EDP. Okay, not discontinued as in like this formulation you can find. The new one, the bottles will be see-through or be something like in red or something. I luckily found one bottle for me. This is more intoxicating version of the whole thing. This one has the cherry featured. I love cherry. Tom Ford has Lost Cherry, and I love the cherry note in there's a Mancera wild cherry. What else was there? A cherry based few fragrance. It gives you the cough syrup feel, but the fragrance is just elegant. It's so beautiful. It has everything of Low Medial, but less leather, more cherry and tonka bean. Okay, amazing fragrance. I smell this. It's so lovely. This is a fragrance you wear and you're gonna be loved. Okay, if you can think of Maroon 5, She'll Be Loved, you'll be loved with this fragrance. Okay, so these two are my most favorite. Now coming to next one, this is called Low Medial Cool. Okay, this is more relatively newer release. They also had intense version, the Low Medial Cologne, which is the white one. I had that and I was an idiot to sell it off, and now I can find a bottle anywhere. So hard to find, so expensive. But good news is, if you have this cool one, you are not going to miss out so much on the white one. Maybe about 10-15% of the element from the white one is not in here, but this one features the mint, menthol sort of mint, and it's kind of like a simpler fragrance. At first I did not like it that much. I thought it's very weak, but more and more you wear it, you can see subtle, like just same thing the Low Medial Cologne was doing. This is going to do it for you and going to cool you down. The Cologne one, it gave me a feel of Dior Homme Cologne, Chanel Allium Sport, sorry, a little bit of clean fresh vibe, you know, like the Cologne version you're not gonna need. I'll just suggest another fragrance if you want it and like that. Buy this one, Givenchy Gentleman Cologne. Okay, this is not from Guerlain, but this achieves the same thing that Guerlain Low Medial Cologne did, and you don't have to pay $200 for that. Okay, and if you have this, I don't think, even if you have this and the Givenchy, you're not gonna need the Low Medial Cologne. But if you find it somewhere, it's a nice fragrance though. Okay, so this is fresh, inoffensive, and very easy to love. Subtle for work, indoors, perfect. Even for sports, it's beautiful, high class all the way. And there was another one called Sport. I just remembering one by one. The Sport one basically is very nice. It's not that sporty, but it's blue. It's kind of strong. It's too sweet at the same time. Really high class. Something, think of line of Dylan Blue. Then the Lointons, I think I liked it, but it was like, not a must have. The last one I think released and I bought, I think last year or with the January or something, Low Medial Extreme. Now this is fire. This is basically, the look at the juice color, it's red. The bottle is red. And this and Abbey Rouge, if you sit beside them side by side, they actually sort of represent passion, but smell very different. So Low Medial Extreme is similar to, I would say, this one, the EDP, but this has spices. This is more spicy. If you like spicy fragrance, it's a little bit hitting you up. It's a bit sensual, sexy, night out. I would go with this one. It's very strong. I think there's leather in there. I'm not sure, but spicy. Definitely spices are there. This is one of my favorites in the line. Okay, so that's the Low Medial line. The last one, I'm just going to show you my girlfriend's bottle. This is Guerlain, Mon Guerlain. Okay, I think Mon Guerlain EDP. I think, yeah, Mon Guerlain EDP. Yeah, she bought it. I don't have that many Guerlain female fragrances in my collection, but these fragrances are amazing. This is sweet. It's very sensual. Same line with Scandal or something in line with Mon Paris. Okay, a few fragrances like that, night out, sweet, kind of like dating fragrance, very high class and very long lasting. So before I finish, I would like to say Guerlain is a great house. I nearly do not have as many fragrances I wish to have from this house, and I really wish I had those fragrances that I sold off or let go or swapped. But there is this other lines that I reviewed, the niche line, I think Conquemperial, Spiritus de Bovigny, or Cure Beluga. Check out my review. I'll leave a link below. Check them out individually. I wish I still had them with me, but those are my friends' bottles, okay? My colleagues or friends, they lend me and I read a review. But Guerlain, my ultimate verdict on this house, one of the most posh house, and I really feel if you once start testing one or two, buy one or two, you're gonna fall in love with this house, because you're gonna get curious. You're gonna try what's the other one like, what's the other flanker like, or what is the vintage like. So much heritage with this house. I actually wish I still had that Guerlain Heritage, which I returned to Perfume Bangladesh, but that is also a great fragrance. A lot of fragrance, I cannot remember. There was Ideal, there was women's perfume, a lot of them, but great house, okay, very rich house. If you talk about Guerlain, you have to say they have the same prestige they share with Chanel and Dior, which are the two of highest of designer houses. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Check them out. I'll write down the names which one I did reviews today, and I'll write them in order. Okay, check them out, individual reviews, fragrantica notes, smell them, get samples, then you'll see. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice evening. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.